Kevin, what date do you start practice?
We're going to announce that probably Monday. So there's been a lot of changes in the rules. So we've investigated what that's going to be. So that announcement will come Monday.
So it's still TBD?
No, I know what it is. But we're going to announce it. No, seriously.
No,
so everybody knows. I haven't even told the players yet.
Okay.
So that's where we are. We have the opportunity with the new rules to start based on the protocol. Things have been pushed back a long ways. So I think every coach is approaching it a little bit differently based on the difference in your summer school schedule, where it makes it difficult to really have a true football camp. And so there's some issues with that and some challenges with that we've worked through, and then just want to let everybody know at the same time. I'm not being smart about it.
No, yeah. Did y'all get? Are you waiting on any signees? Is everybody rolled out of the class?
All 29 are in summer school.
All 29 are here.
Yeah, which is 100% again, by the way. In case you're wondering. Yeah, the other two guys, Tyree and Michael, were in summer school too. So we had with the number of guys that turned pro early, and a couple guys that left, we were able to sign 29 this year, which was big for us. And 9 high school guys at mid-year, and then 20 guys who have joined us in 18 that joined us in May, and then 2 that joined us right after the 4th of July break for summer too.
What kind of noticeable impact have you seen already from Mark hockey?
It's been great, and the impact you could see early during spring football, I think, and his ability to work with guys, and I think there's no doubt that what we've talked about, you'll talk to these guys about it today, not just me, just about the ability to finish and what toughness really is about, and so. During this time of year, not just during the fall, but during the off season, during everything that you do, that's got to be something that goes into it, and it's not just during fall camp. And I think Mark has brought that attitude, not only him, but the 4 assistant coaches that we're able to get, and to work with our players individually by position. I think there's no doubt that they've had an impact on the program, and you can. The biggest way to tell is going to be we got to play games, but I think if you talk to our players, I think they'll be able to tell you from just from where they are right now, what kind of impact he's had.
Scott Woodward didn't really say anything you didn't already know, right? This off season, and he said.
What did he say?
He said you have to win and win now. I think was the quote. And I know you know what he said. So.
Yeah, it's. I just wanted to make sure there's a lot of things he said. I've done this a long time, Brett, you know that. So, in almost 30 years, and for me, how I approach my job, whether it's anything that's written or anything that's said, ain't gonna change. There's nobody that puts any more pressure on me than Kevin Sumlin, and we all want the same thing. And I came here to do a job and to win a championship, and we haven't done that yet. Now, that being said, we won more games than anybody in the last 20 years. Is the place better? Are we better at Texas A&M now than when I got here? You bet. Is it where we want to be? No. And nobody wants to win more than me. I think sometimes when you look out and people try to divide people, fans, alumni, boosters, coaches, whatever, that's not the case. I know that the staff works very, very hard at it. We got a lot of players that work very hard at it, and there are a lot of things that I think. Oh, when you asked me after the last game, what do you tell frustrated fans? I said, tell them I'm frustrated too, and my job's to fix it. And it's not about talking about it. It's not about the biggest sign in our building says no excuses, and it's our job to get it fixed, and that's what we're doing.
Why would you think this year's going to be better, Kevin? Better than 8 and 5 than
because I'm the coach. And then I'm inside of it. And if I didn't think that, I wouldn't be the coach.
But what indicators are out there that's going to?
I tell you this, that in my eyes, there's a lot of energy with 29 new guys. I think the way they've been embraced by the guys that are here hadn't always been the case. I think that the talent level that we brought in, based on the guys who are here, because you signed 29 guys, that's a third of your team. But these guys in our first team meeting really embraced the new guys and really did a nice job, I thought, have done a nice job of being with them, bringing them along, working with them, 7-on-7, things that we can't be there with, but talking to them about the things that make the difference. Not just the time that you put in when you're in the building, but what's going on. I think that speaks to, the relatively quiet off-season we've had too, as far as, what's going on in the community, how our guys are handling things. So we're getting tremendous leadership from a lot of guys besides the 3 guys that are here. And internally, that hadn't always been the case. And I think also that these guys, because of what they've been through the last couple, 3 seasons, particularly Armani, who's been here to see that, understand that, hey, here's the changes that have been made. Here's what we have to do besides just lift weights and run. Here's the other part of the puzzle that we got to get fixed. And they've done that with those young guys, and because of that, the energy level is really high.
Do you have a timetable on when y'all want to make a quarterback selection?
No, not really. I think, it'll probably be around the same time we've done it when there's been any kind of competition. So, yeah, it's, usually a couple of weeks before the game, something like that.
What's Nick's RB status going into this year?
We'll see when we get to camp. I don't foresee him being able to go. Could be a red shirt situation, but we'll make that decision in the fall.
What happened to him?
He had a knee injury.
Did he already have surgery on that?
Yeah, had it immediately. That was in the spring.
ACL?
They had a knee injury.
Okay.
Kevin, do you sense that, you were talking about the leadership, do you sense that you have a guy or guys that have that same kind of emotional response that like Sean Porter had, and that kind of guy that just is really in your face about it type of guy? Or are they more like leading by example type of guy?
No, we talked about that. Leading by example is, that's just your job, right? If you're doing your job, that's not real leadership to me, and we've had that discussion. Guys got to get outside themselves to be leaders. I think that's something that we've talked with a number of guys on the team about. Obviously, a guy like Travion Williams has made some steps in the offseason. I think has become very, very vocal. Christian has done that. It's been hard for some of those young linemen, the Eric McCoys and some of those guys to do that because they were freshmen. But it's different now. I think as you see guys grow from young players into older players and become more comfortable with themselves playing and being in that role, they become comfortable with telling other people what to do. It's hard to tell somebody what to do when you're not sure what you're supposed to do, and you haven't been in those situations. So, we've got a number of players. You look at our line right now, we've got more starts coming back in our offensive line than we had last year. Totally, even though we lost 2 tackles. And so those guys have played a lot of football. Jim Turner's doing a great job with them, and now they're starting to become confident as well as strong. And that's where your leadership comes from. It comes from guys who have played and guys who understand what they're about to face, being able to talk about, hey, here's what we need to do to be prepared for that.
Kevin, it's one thing,
coaches.
it's one
Yeah.
thing to be told you need to win, it's another to announce it on national television. Does that violate some sort of protocol? I mean, you have private meetings with Scott.
Yeah,
He didn't need to do that.
I know. I don't have I don't know what the protocol is.
Okay.
So, there's every year there's something new. So, we have our own meetings. We talk about a lot of different things. So, I don't know what the protocol is.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Thank you, Coach.